Prabhuji's effort to reach out to us and speak some valuable Krishna Katha with a loud Haribol. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Thank you, Jai Sachidan Prabhu, for inviting me, and for all of you for having me for the consecutive second week. I can just appreciate all of you, how advanced souls you are, and especially in terms of the quality of tolerance that you can have me for the second week straight, and you're here. I'll try to serve all of you. I especially would like to thank Prema Rupa Madhavi Mataji and Narottam Vilas Prabhu for doing a nice kirtan. I had no arrangement with me. I just thought maybe we'll just begin the session, but it was nice to hear the holy name. So uh, last week when we began, we discussed about Srila Prabhupada, how Srila Prabhupada wanted us to worship Narsinga Dev and pray to Narsinga Dev. Then we discussed something more about Shri, how Narsinga Dev, why as Hare Krishna devotees do we pray to Narsinga Dev when we are supposed to be focused on Krishna, right? We'll take that theme once again today because that's the topic. Uh, then we had discussed how uh, Narsinga Dev is Prapannarti Hara. He removes the distress of his devotees, right? And we had discussed few pastimes for that, Russia, and we had discussed, I remember the pastime of, we had discussed how Narsinga Dev's two eyes, two emotions in the two eyes, and how why Lakshmi ji was away when Hiranyakashipu was being killed. Hmm? And we had discussed how Narsingadev is beautiful and handsome for Prahlad Maharaj, and we had taken this Vishnu Sahasranam, Bhishmadev's, how Bhishmadev's favorite is also Lord Narsingadev. He says, Narsinga Vapu Shriman Keshava Purushottamaha. Right? We had discussed how Lord Chaitanya visited Varaha Narsinga at Simhachalam, and we had discussed how the first darshan of Narsingadev that Prahlad Maharaj received was at this place, where Narsingadev held him when Prahlad was thrown down the mountain by the demons. Right? So, to begin today's session, I have chosen one verse. This is from Shrimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 8th chapter, 7th verse. 787. Shri Prahlad Uvacha न केवलं मे भवतश्च राजन् स वै बलं बलिनां च परेषां परे अवरे अस्मि स्थिरजङ्गमाये ब्रह्मादयो ये न वशं प्रणीतः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj said, "My dear king, the source of my strength, of which you are asking, is also the source of yours. Indeed, the original source of all kinds of strength is one. He is not only our strength or mine, but the only strength for everyone. Without him, no one can get any strength, whether moving or not moving, superior or inferior. Everyone, including Lord Brahma, is controlled by the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Purport. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 10:41, Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam Srimad urjitameva va tattadevavagachatvam mamate jo amsha sambhavam. Know that all beautiful, glorious, and mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. This is confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. If one sees extraordinary strength or power anywhere, it is derived from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hmm. Just one second. I think I do not have the full verse and translation here. I want to read the full. Oh Krishna. If one sees extraordinary strength or power anywhere, it is derived from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To give an example, there are different grades of fire, but all of them derive heat and light from the sun. Similarly, all living entities, big or small, are dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One's only duty is to surrender, for one is a servant and cannot independently attain the position of master. One can attain the position of master only by the mercy of the master, not independently. Unless one understands this philosophy, he is still a moodha. In other words, he is not very intelligent. The moodhas, the asses who do not have this intelligence, cannot surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understanding the subordinate position of the living entity takes millions of births, but when one is actually wise, he surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 7:19, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevah sarvam iti samahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Prahlad Maharaj was a great soul, a Mahatma, and therefore he completely surrendered unto the lotus feet of the Lord. He was confident that Krishna would give him protection under all circumstances. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Nahamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachanam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shri Guru Deenatarinam. one, one devotee in Sri Sampradaya, he is praying to the Lord Narsinghadev that Hiranyakashipu was troubling the whole world and he behaved like a tyrant. Right? Hiranyakashipu expected that everyone should glorify him instead of the Lord. In Hiranyakashipu's kingdom, the rule was everyone was supposed to say Hiranyakashipu Maharaj ki jai. And no one was allowed to say, oh, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Glories to Lord Vishnu. No, not allowed. Only Hiranyakashipu, glories of Hiranyakashipu have to be sung. Hiranyakashipu thought himself to be Bhagavan. And Hiranyakashipu, everyone bowing down to him, even the material nature, behaving as per, and providing as per Hiranyakashipu's expectation, what to say of, mere humans, right? Even Narad Muni says in 7th canto, time was favoring Hiranyakashipu. Time as an energy of the Lord was favoring Hiranyakashipu. I would also bow down. Yes, Hiranyakashipu Maharaj ki jai. Now, when the whole world is bowing down to you, when Hiranyakashipu is so puffed up with pride now, right? But his one son, Prahlad Maharaj, he, 5-year-old boy, but fearless. He would not say Hiranyakashipu Maharaj ki jai. He would say Asurvarya Dehinam. Oh, you are the best of Asuras. But he would never call him, oh, you are great, you are God. Hiranyakashipu asked him, Prahlad, everyone is afraid of me. Why are you not? Where are you getting strength from? What is the source of your power that you can stand like this, fearless in front of me? So Hiranyakashipu's question, now I have a tube light here, bulbs. In India you have tube lights, neon tube lights sometimes, right? So imagine if a tube light is asking the fan, if tube light asks the fan, where are you getting the supply from, right? And the fan replied, you are actually a tube light. You proved yourself to be a tube light. Why? Are you and I both are getting power from the same source. This is the answer that Prahlad Maharaj is giving in this verse to Hiranyakashipu. Na kevalam me bhavatascha rajan, not me. Oh, Rajan, O king, you. Savai balam balinam, all the balinam, all the powerful people, they are getting their strength from the Lord only. Pare avare asmi sthirajanga maye, moving, non-moving, superior, inferior. And Hiranyakashipu had got blessings from Brahma. What is he saying? Brahma dayo ye na vasham pranitaha. Even Brahma is under the control of the strength of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hiranyakashipu did not want to listen to this part. Oh, Brahma also, his strength also comes from the Lord. Yes, the Lord is the source of all the strength. Right? Hiranyakashipu would call himself Bhagavan. He would kill people, maim people. What a tyrant. Right? So this devotee, this Sri Sampradaya, these prayers, wonderful prayers. There are different acharyas have written different prayers in honor of Narsinghadev. So one devotee is praying, oh Lord, how much did you tolerate Hiranyakashipu's sins? Right? Hiranyakashipu was exactly against your purpose, and you tolerated him for such a long time, right? You did not care so much, what all Hiranyakashipu was doing. You were very patient, Lord. Thousands of years Hiranyakashipu ruled. You tolerated it. But the moment he started harassing your devotee Prahlad, right, your anger lasted, and your anger also lasted so long. It lasts so long. Nobody was able to pacify now, right? So as soon as the pure devotee was hurt, pure devotee was troubled, and as soon as Prahlad said, yes, my Lord is in the pillar as well, Narsinghadev appeared from there. Shiva, Brahma, Chandra, Lakshmi, every kind of demigod and rishis, they tried their best to pacify Lord's anger. The Lord tolerated for long, but as soon as his pure devotee was troubled, the Lord did not. He could not tolerate it anymore, right? He gave a sound response to Hiranyakashipu, right? So Prahlad Maharaj, as soon as he was offended, the Lord did not take it lying, right? So, right? So now the Lord appeared, and Prahlad is offering wonderful prayers to the Lord, right? The Lord was so ferocious, but Prahlad is not at all fearful. The devotee need not be fearful of the Lord. The demons are fearful of the Lord, right? And the Lord appeared and kept his, merciful hand on Prahlad Maharaj's head. Now the lion's hand, anybody would be fearful. But for Prahlad experienced the most cooling touch. And all the scriptural knowledge, all the Vedic knowledge, Jnanam and Vijnanam, everything was revealed in the heart of, Prahlad Maharaj. So this devotee is saying, one of the names of the Lord, Narsinghadev, is Shri Kara. What does Shri Kara mean? Shri Kara. His hands are all auspicious. His hands are all auspicious. Right? So the devotee need not fear. The devotee, should have complete faith that my Lord, will protect me. Hmm? Prahlad Maharaj, he shares his faith with us. Huh? How the only protector is Lord Narsingadev. Balasya neha sharanam pitarau narasimha nartasya chagadam udanvati majjato nau taptasya tat pratividhir ya ihanja seshtas tavad vibhotanubhritam tvadupekshitanam. So he's saying, my Lord Narsingadev, O Supreme, because of a bodily conception of life, embodied souls neglected and not cared for by you cannot do anything for their betterment. Whatever remedies they accept, although perhaps temporarily beneficial, are certainly impermanent. So he gives example. For example, a father and mother cannot protect their child. A physician and medicine cannot relieve a suffering patient. And a boat on the ocean cannot protect a drowning man. Right? So Prahlad Maharaj is saying the futility of depending on anyone else in this world. Right? He says, what is the point of depending on one's own mother? Right? Yeah, these relationships do exist, but our ultimate protection is going to come from the Lord. Right? So he says we cannot rely upon any relationships. The first one is, he says, mother or father. So mother. And the example the acharyas give is Kaikai. Kaikai thought that all her shenanigans were going to protect, Bharat Maharaj's interest. But actually, Kaikai ended up harming Bharat Maharaj. Right? Harming herself, harming Dasharath Maharaj, harming Ayodhya, Ram. She was thinking, as mother, I am thinking of the best for my son. And Bharat Maharaj, what tapasya he had to undergo for 14 years. Right? And practically Bharat Maharaj said, I disown her as my mother. Futility of depending on one's mother. What is the example of futility of depending on one's own father? Prahlad Maharaj is himself the example. How father only, Hiranyakashipu, persecuted Prahlad. What about one's own brother? One's own brother also cannot be trusted in that case. The example is given Ravana. How he chased away Vibhishan. Right? Vibhishan was trying to give good advice to him as a brother, but how he was humiliated by Ravana time and again. And the last situation was when Ravana kicked Vibhishan with his feet, and then Vibhishan gave it up. No, sufficient. I don't want to be here anymore. What about wife and children? Can one depend on them, for protection? They cannot protect. Example is given Valmiki, who was a hunter before. Narad Muni told him, you have to suffer a lot for all this, pain that you are causing to all these animals. You'll have to suffer very bad. And this hunter said, actually, I'm doing it for my family. I have to provide for them. Right? Whatever karma may come, we will share equally. And Narada told him, please go and check with your wife and children. For all the suffering that is in store, would they like to share? And the wife and children said, sorry. They refused. We won't share the reactions of the karma with you. You change your profession if you have to. Why should we take karma? And that day his eyes opened. Oh, is that so? And he decided, no more, I'm not going to kill. And what to say about doctor and medicine? The best doctors and the best, the best of medical facilities are available. A new novel coronavirus. And everyone is just, we can't do anything about it. We are just trying our best, hit and run something. How are patients getting recovered? Oh, their immunity, Krishna's protection. What about depending on the boat? Futility of depending on a boat to cross the ocean? We have the famous example as Titanic. Right? That's why Prahlad Maharaj is saying, "Oh Lord, you are the only source of shelter. You are the only source of protection in this world. Let me completely depend on you." So Jananivas Prabhu and Pankajangri Prabhu, these two brothers, Prabhupada disciples who stay in Mayapur, very famous for their service to Srila Prabhupada's movement. Pankajangri Prabhu was mentioning one time in his Bhagavatam class. He was mentioning, "Oh Lord, just as you tore upon the heart and intestines of Hiranyakashipu, please tear open my heart and remove all the anarthas from there. Remove all material desires and throw them off far." Right? That's a prayer that everyone would like to offer. But Pankajangri Prabhu was saying, but then we find devotees also have fear in their heart in worshipping Narsinghadev. So he was mentioning, why are we afraid to worship Narsinghadev? He said, because if Narsinghadev really takes his prayer seriously, right? If he decides, right? If it decides to answer our prayers, then our attachments will get tested. But what is our problem? We secretly do not want to lose our material desires, right? We want to keep them. We want to hold on with them, right? Many a times as practicing devotees, what is the motto of our practice? With our practice, something for Krishna and something for me. Okay, Krishna, for your sake, I give up these things, but something I will keep. Okay, I'll offer something, but something I'll hold on to, right? So, as devotees, we may sometimes secretly disbelieve the words of Krishna, right? And we may not be serious, to give up our material desires, right? So, Pankajangri Prabhu gave a very nice story for this. A very nice story, of a Pujari in Mayapur. This Brahmachari Pujari. So he was saying devotees need not be afraid of Lord Narsinghadev. So he was mentioning how one Pujari in Mayapur, he would worship Narsinghadev. But he was very fearful during, when he's offering his services, when he's performing the puja, he would do it out of a lot of fear. That means if you are, showing the incense to the Lord, if you're offering Aarti, sometimes out of the 5 weeks, 1 week may fall off, going close to the Lord and offering Tulsi, and he would be fearful, right? So he was just too much bogged up by this fear, and his focus on his service was less, right? One time what happened, the Shayan Darshan of the Lord, the last darshan in Mayapur, and then they closed the altar, and then they dress Narsinghadev, the night dressing. The night dressing is done, and bhoga is offered, and this brahmachari, he closed the altar, right? And he came back to the brahmachari ashram, to his room. And in the brahmachari ashram of Mayapur, in those days they would have bunk beds for brahmacharis. Bunk beds means, I hope bunk beds means one over the other, like school hostels, they have many kids can sleep one above the other. More kids can be accommodated in one room. So brahmachari ashram also had bunk beds in those days, right? So this brahmachari came back to his room, right? And practically he was alone in the room that day, nobody around, right? And he was sitting on his bunk bed, about to offer prayers and about to take rest. And what happened? He felt a tap on his shoulder. He felt something heavy on his shoulder, right? Something touched him, right? And he felt it was like an arm, somebody's arm, right? Somebody tapping him. So he understood, he knew there is nobody else in the room. It's dark and no one else. I'm alone in the room today. Then he heard a voice. Why are you afraid of me? Be cool. He heard a voice like that. And then what happened? He slept in the night. And morning, when he woke up, he felt something on his shoulder, right? And there were scratch marks on his, on the shoulder, lower shoulder, this part. There were scratch marks. And this brahmachari would go around into other brahmacharis, with a, without putting his kurta and all. Look at this, what I have got. Narsinghdev's hand. And Narsingdev has assured me, do not fear. And this story they had put up, and devotees could, everyone could make out these scratch marks, or nobody will make. Why would anybody scratch a brahmachari? Like, nobody would fight like that. But the scratch marks, right? And he would go and proudly show to everyone, Narsinghdev's mercy. Narsingdev protected me. And Narsingdev is telling, do not fear unnecessarily. So Narsingdev is our protector. He protects our devotion. प्रह्लाद अल्हाददायी ने हिरण्यकशिपुर वक्षः शिलटंकानखालये. So the coming to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, for us, the goal is to develop pure love for Radha and Krishna, right? And practically all the aspects of our practice, we want it to lead to that end. And that end alone, I want the prema for Radha and Krishna, right? Therefore, when we worship Narsinghadev, right, Narsinghadev can purify our heart, which is filled with lust. Narsinghadev can destroy the desire for fame and cunning behavior. Narsinghadev can purify us from our duplicitous dealings, right? Narsinghadev can bestow fearlessness, upon us, and it is his lotus feet which can bestow love for Shri Radha and Krishna for us, right? So Advaita Acharya, amongst the Panchatattva, Sri Advaita Acharya, whom Lord Chaitanya also would worship, Advaita Acharya, he is known to have worshipped Narsinghadev in the form of Narsingha Shaligram Shila. Advaita Acharya would worship Narsingha Shalingram Shila with tulsi leaves and Ganges water. And it was he who called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to manifest in this world, to appear in Mayapur, right? So it is very natural for us. Advaita Acharya worshipping Narsingha Shaligram Shila, and he called for the Lord to appear as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is natural for us to have affinity towards Lord Narsinghadev, right? If you have, those of you who have been to Mayapur, Yogapit, the appearance place of Lord Chaitanya, the birth site of Lord Chaitanya, there is a deity of Lakshmi Narsingha. There is the deity of Gaura Gadadhar, and next to it is Lakshmi Narsingha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had said that Narsinghadev personally attends Mangalarti at Yogapit every morning. Narsinghadev comes there to attend the Mangalarti of Lord Chaitanya, right? So you find a deity of Narsinghadev there. Also, during the Mayapur Parikrama, Dham Parikrama, they take us to a place called Narsinghapalli. Navdeep Dham Parikrama, they take us to a place called Narsinghapalli, and this place is a very ancient temple of Lord Narsingha, right? It is said that Lord Narsinghadev, after killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord Narsinghadev came to rest at Narsinghapalli. He came to take rest here. And the demigods and great devotees, they appeared there and they offered worship to the Lord, right? In the honor of that pastime, there is this beautiful Narsinghadev deity there, right? So, also the section of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, where Prahlada Charitra is described, right? This pastime was so dear, pastime of Prahlad, and Narsinghadev is described. That section of Bhagavatam was a favorite of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And so it was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates in Jagannath Puri. Chaitanya Bhagavat says, Chaitanya Bhagavat Antilila 10th chapter has the verse for it. Gadadhar padena sammukha Bhagavat Shunya prakashe Prabhu prema bhavajat Prahlada charitra ar dhruvera charitra Shatavritti Koriya Shunena Sarhita. Whenever Sri Gadadhar would recite, Lord Chaitanya would go to Tota Gopinath to meet Gadadhar Pandit every day. And there Gadadhar would recite the Prahlad Charitra and Dhruva Charitra from Bhagavatam. And Lord Chaitanya would manifest various symptoms of love. Right? His eyes would, be full of tears. He would perspire just by hearing the pastime of Prahlad, and Narsinghadev. Right? So hundreds and hundreds of time, punar avritti kara. Lord Chaitanya would tell Gadadhar Pandit again and again recite hundreds of times, and both would shed tears of love. And these tears of love, one time such a situation that, the leaves on which Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam is written, those leaves got wet, soaked in the tears of Lord Chaitanya and Gadadhar Pandit. And then they had to send one Brahmana all the way to Mayapur just to copy Bhagavatam. That particular section of Bhagavatam had to be copied once again. They didn't have printing press in Jagannath Puri in those days. So one person had to run down all the way to Mayapur just to get a copy of those verses. Right? So at Shivasangan in Mayapur, which is considered non-different from Vrindavan, at that place, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had begun his Sankirtan movement at Shiva's Angan. Right? And there they have a deity of Ugra Narsingha killing Hiranyakashipu. So the Panchatattva deities are there, and right in front of Panchatattva deities, this Narsinghadev deity, Ugra Narsingha deity is there. Right? Why is this Narsinghadev deity present there? One day Lord Chaitanya, he came to the house of Srivas Pandit, right? And he was banging the door. Open the door, Srivas. The Lord whom you worship is right here. And when Srivas Pandit opened the door, Lord Chaitanya manifested the form and mood of Narsinghadev. Right? So since that day, devotees, Gaudiya Vaishnavas understand how Narsinghadev is the protector of the Sankirtan movement. Right? So you'll find this pastime, I could have given the details of it, but this pastime again is there in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda. It is in the Madhya Khanda, chapter 2. So during the Rath Yatra festival, when the Vaishnavas from Bengal would come down to Jagannath Puri, right? So many Vaishnavas, Advait, under the leadership of Advaita Acharya, they would be at Jagannath Puri. And when the Lord Jagannath would go to Gundicha temple, so during the Rath Yatra time, Lord Jagannath goes to Gundicha, right? So what would Lord Chaitanya do? He would take, his devotees in a Sankirtan from all the way from Sri Mandir to Gundicha, right, for darshan of the Lord. And from there, he would take devotees to the Narsinghadev temple, which is a little, which is adjacent to Gundicha temple, just behind, right, that way. And in that temple, Narsinghadev temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform congregational chanting of holy names. And he would dance in ecstatic love of God before Narsinghadev. Right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there, many times he would manifest his, bodily symptoms of love of God. Right? He would loudly chant the holy name, dance in ecstasy, shiver, and sometimes he would even faint. Right? So, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we need not avoid the worship of Narsinghadev. Practically, we could say that, avoiding Nrsimhadev's worship would be an offense. So, an Acharya who is very close to our heart is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written 5 beautiful prayers in his book, Sri Navadvip Bhavataranga. These 5 prayers are for receiving the mercy of Nrsimhadev. Right? These prayers, can surely assure us that, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we can worship Nrsimhadev. Right? It is bona fide for us. Right? And Nrsimhadev can offer us, those who are aspiring love and devotion to Sri Radha and Krishna, Nrsimhadev can bestow this love upon us. So what are these prayers? I will recite the prayers for you. ए दुष्ट हृदय काम आदि रिपूछय, कुटीनाति प्रतिष्ठा शाट्य सदा रोय, हृदय शोधन आर कृष्णेर वसन, नरसिंह चरणे मोर aito kaman. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, within my sinful heart, the 6 enemies headed by lust perpetually reside. What else resides there? Duplicity, the desire for fame, and sheer cunningness. And he's saying, Narsingha Charana More Eito Kaman. At the lotus feet of Lord Narsingha, what is my prayer? I hope that he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire, Krishna Ravasan, that it give me the desire to serve Lord Krishna. कांदिया नरसिंह पदे मागी बो काखन, निरपदे नवद्वीपे जुगल भजन, भय भय पाए जार दर्शने से हरि, प्रसन्न होई बो कबे मोर दया कोरी. He says, weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Narsingha for the benediction of worshipping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into the fear itself, ever become pleased and show me his mercy? Third verse. Yadyapi bhishana murti dushta jiva prati, प्रहलादादि कृष्ण भक्त जने भद्र अति, कबे वा प्रसन्न होए सकृपा वचने, निर्भय कोरिबे जय मूढ़ अकिंचने. Even though Lord Narsingha is terrifying towards the sinful souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna, headed by Prahlad Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a worthless fool, and thereby make me fearless? Bhaktivinoda Thakur continues in his Sri Navadvip Bhavataranga, the 4th verse. Swachhande Vaishuhe Vatsa Shri Gauranga Dhame, Jugala Bhajan Ho Rati Ho Name, Mama Bhakta Kripa Bale Vigna Jabe Dur, Shuddha Chitte Bhajo Radha Krishna Rasapur. Lord Nrsimhadev will say, dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Sri Gauranga Dham. May you nicely worship the divine couple, and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. With a purified heart, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with sweet nectar. The last prayer out of the 5. Ai boli kabe mora mastaka upar, Sviya Shri Charana Harshe Dharibe Ishwar, Amani Jugala Preme Satvika Vikare, Dhoraya Lutibo Ami Sri Narsingha Dware. Saying this, will that Lord delightedly place his own divine lotus feet upon my head? I will experience sublime love for the divine couple, Radha Krishna, and undergo the ecstatic transformation called Satvika. Falling on the ground, I will roll about at the door of Sri Narsinghdev's temple. Right? Just 1 second. I just need to. So we will see further connection of Lord Narsinghadev with Gaudiya Vaishnavas. If you study the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the most comprehensive presentation of Lord Chaitanya's life, it reveals that Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya identify most with three, forms of the Lord: Krishna himself, Jagannath, and Narsinghadev. Yes, Lord Chaitanya did visit many Lord Ram temples while he went to South India, but the maximum account is with respect to Krishna, then Jagannath ji, and Narsinghadev. So Lord Chaitanya, he has appeared as the devotee of the Lord, right? And he would often worship Narsinghadev with much devotion and absorption, especially during his South India tour. Lord Chaitanya, he visited 9 famous Narsinghadev temples. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will find a special mention of 3 of them. So 9 temples were visited. Out of that, 3 are explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The first one is the famous Ahobila Narsingha temple. Lord Chaitanya visited there. Another one that he visited was Pana Narsingha, which is in Mangalgiri Hills. This place, Prabhupada says, is 7 miles from the city of Vijayawada. Right? So Lord Chaitanya personally climbed the 600 steps to reach the temple, and with great love, he offered obeisances and prayers, and chanted and danced in pleasure of Lord Narsinghadev. So the first one was Ahobila Narsingha, the second one was Pana Narsingha, and the third one for which Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami gives a very detailed account in Chaitanya Charitamrita, is Mahaprabhu's visit to the Jeda Narsingha temple. Right? This Jeda Narsingha temple is on a hill which is 5 miles from Vishakhapatnam. Right? So Krishnas Kaviraj Goswami says, upon seeing the deity of Lord Narsingha in the temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his respectful obeisances by falling flat on the ground. Then, in ecstatic love, he performed various dances, chanted, and offered prayers. So, this account is in the Madhya Leela, 8th chapter. Narsingha dekhiya koila dandavat pranati premaveshe kailak bahu nritya gita stuti Shri Narsingha Jai Jai Narsingha Praladisha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. So these were the prayers that Lord Chaitanya offered there. Aimata Nana Shloka Padistuti Koila Narsingha Shevaka Mala Prasadani Dila. Right? So, in this manner, so many shlokas were recited by Lord Chaitanya in honor of Narsinghadev, and seeing the ecstatic symptoms of Lord Chaitanya, his devotion, Narsingha Shevaka, the servant of Narsingha, the Pujari, Mala Prasad Ani Dila. He brought Mala Prasad, the garland of Narsinghadev, and offered it to Lord Chaitanya. Another of the deities that Lord Chaitanya would regularly take darshan, the Narsingha deity, is the one on the southern side of Jagannath temple. Right? So Lord Chaitanya spent most of his time at Jagannath Puri, and Mahaprabhu would often visit this deity. There are 22 steps you have to take, go behind the temple, climb up 22 steps up, and there Lord Chaitanya would recite the verses from Narsingha Puran. Right? He would offer obeisances again and again and offer, the prayers from Narsingha Puran. Namaste Narasimhaya Pralad Allad Daine हिरण्यकशिपुर्वक्षः शीलटङ्कानखालये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा वही नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे. So Srila Prabhupada took these two set of verses and then joined another one, Tava Kara Kamalavane, that is from another place. So these were joined, and that's what we know as Narsingha Arti. But these prayers were personally chanted by Lord Chaitanya at this temple, of Narsingha Dev, which is at the southern side of the Jagannath temple. Lord Chaitanya would personally offer these prayers. Right? So there are also pastimes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I can recount 3. I'll try my best to explain these pastimes with whatever 10-15 minutes I have still with me. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Narsingha Dev. They are one and the same. Right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipped Narsingha Dev. But these two are in fact one. Right? Both are forms of Krishna. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna himself. He's not avatara, he's avatari. Right? He's Krishna himself in the hue of Mother Radharani, right? Of Srimati Radharani. So Lord Chaitanya would worship Narsingha Dev, right? So Narsingha Puran, Narsingha Puran acknowledges this fact, because Narsingha Puran predicts the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, right? It says the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who in the Satya Yuga appeared as a half man, half lion to cure a terrible disease that had ravaged the demigods, and who in the Treta Yuga appeared as Lord Ramachandra, who defeated the 10-headed demon Ravana, and who in the Dwapar Yuga removed the earth's burden and protected the cowherd people of Brajapura, will appear again in the Kali Yuga. His form will be golden. He will delight in chanting the Lord's holy names, and his name will be Chaitanya. So Narsingha Puran clearly gives this, verse, right? So while Lord Chaitanya was performing his pastimes, several times he displayed the fact that he is none other than Lord Narsingha Dev. Right? So the 3 pastimes. The first one, once he visited Srivas Thakur's house. Srivas Thakur was worshipping Narsingha Dev behind closed doors, and Lord Chaitanya came and knocked at his door, calling out, "Who are you worshipping? Whom are you meditating on? The person whom you are worshipping is here." And Lord Chaitanya displayed the form of Narsingha Dev to Srivas Thakur that time. Another time when Srivas Thakur was reading Brihat Sahasranam, the 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, Lord Chaitanya was listening to it. Chaitanya Mangal describes that when he reads the name of Narsingha, Lord Narsingha, out of the Brihat Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, when Srivas Thakur, while reading and reciting, he recited the name of Lord Narsingha, Lord Chaitanya suddenly got absorbed in that thought and suddenly became angry, just like Narsingha Dev. Lord Chaitanya's eyes became red. The hairs of his body stood on end, and he trembled, making a ferocious roaring sound. Then Lord Chaitanya took a wooden club, right? And the devotees the other devotees who were present in the room got so terrified. What is this mood? What's happening? They were all thinking, what kind of offense have we committed? But Mahaprabhu suddenly understood that he's unnecessarily causing fear in the hearts of the devotees, and he relaxed and once again took his seat. Right? And the most famous and the most scary pastime, right, which illustrates the connection between Lord Chaitanya and Narsingha Dev, is when the Chand Kazi, this Muslim magistrate, who was very violent he was forbidding the street chanting, the Harinam Sankirtan of Lord Chaitanya's associates. Right? He had broken the mridanga, Khol Bhanga Sthan, the Angan where Shiva's Thakur's house is there. The Angan is where Chand Kazi broke the mridanga. Right? He had broken the mridanga drum and he was threatening devotees that if they continued, he will confiscate all their property and force them to convert to Muslim Islam. So one day, devotees found that this Chand Kazi, he has stopped his antagonistic actions. He has stopped, opposing devotees. And Lord Chaitanya asked him why. Why are you, what is the change? Why is such a change in you? Right? So Chand Kazi told Lord Chaitanya, the night after I forbade the performance of congregational chanting, in my dreams, I saw a greatly fearful lion roaring very loudly, his body like a human being and his face like a lion's. So Chand Kazi said, while I was asleep, the lion jumped on my chest, laughing fiercely and showing me his teeth. And this lion, half man, half lion, he placed his, nails on my chest and he spoke to me in a grave voice. I shall immediately bifurcate your chest as you broke the mridanga drum. Just as you broke the mridanga drum, I will break open your chest. You have forbidden the performance of my congregational chanting. Therefore, I must destroy you. Right? So Chand Kazi said, I was very afraid, very, very afraid. I closed my eyes. I was trembling. And seeing me so afraid, the lion said, I have defeated you just to teach you a lesson, but I will be merciful to you. Right? Right? You did not create such a great disturbance also. Right? Therefore, I'm excusing you and not taking away your life. But if you perform such activities again, I will not tolerate. And after saying this, that lion left. And since then, I have decided I will not do anything to devotees. Right? And Lord Chaitanya, this Kazi, Chand Kazi, showed his chest to Lord Chaitanya. And there were the marks of Narsinghdev's nails on it. Right? And Chand Kazi promised Lord Chaitanya, what to say me? Even my descendants in the future, they will not commit this grave mistake of stopping devotees from Harinam Sankirtan. I proclaim from here to me, to my associates and to my family and everyone coming in future, never ever stop the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya. Right? So even till present day, the Muslims in Mayapur, they do not stop the Harinam Sankirtan under any circumstance. Right? So even Hindu-Muslim, when the Hindus were ruled over by Muslim, and especially I can say when the Hindu-Muslim riots happened in 1947, even then the devotees in Mayapur were not affected. Right? So yet on another occasion, I will give you one more occasion. I said three most prominent. I will take one more and then we'll stop for today. There was one more occasion where Lord Chaitanya revealed his identity that is non-different from Narsinghadev. This was revealed to Pradyumna Brahmachari. Right? And later this same Pradyumna Brahmachari was called Narsinghananda Brahmachari. Right? Because Pradyumna Brahmachari was he had lot of devotion for Narsinghadev. Pradyumna Brahmachari Tara Nija Naam, Narsinghananda Naam Tara Kaila Gauradham. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Gaura Sundar personally gave this name to Pradyumna Brahmachari. What was the name? Narsinghananda Brahmachari was known as later. by Lord Chaitanya giving his name. So one day Narsinghananda Brahmachari, he prepared many varieties of bhoga, vegetables, cakes, sweet rice, and many more things. And he made 3 bhoga plates, 3 offering plates. One for Jagannath, one for Lord Chaitanya, and one for his worshipful deity of Narsinghadev. 3 plates were made and put on the altar. जगन्नाथेर भिन्न भोग पृथक बाड़ीला Chaitanya Prabhur lagi Arabhoga Kaila. So he prepared a huge plate for Jagannath. Then he made a plate for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ishtadeva Narsingha lagi Prithaka Badila Tinajane Samarpiya Bahire Dhyana Kaila. And then he made a plate for Narsingha Dev. And he went out of the altar, out of the room. He went outside the room, and there he started chanting his Gayatri and singing prayers. Right? Then he began to meditate on the Lord. Right? And what did Lord Chaitanya do? Who is in Jagannath Puri now, by the way. Lord Chaitanya appeared there. Dekhe shigra ashi vasila Chaitanya Gosai Tina bhoga khaila kichu abashishta nai. Right? In his meditation, Narsinghanand Brahmachari saw that Lord Chaitanya quickly came. He sat down and he ate all the 3 offerings. He ate everything from the 3 plates, leaving nothing behind. Now, Narsinghanand Brahmachari, Pradyumna Brahmachari, was so happy. Anande vivala Pradyumna pade ashrudhar. Ha ha ki ba karo boli koro ye putkar. Although Narsinghanand Brahmachari was delighted to know that Lord Chaitanya came, but he was sorry to know, he was dismayed. Oh, what have you done, Lord Chaitanya? What have you done? You ate away from everyone's plate. I can understand, right, that you are non-different from Jagannath, right? So I have no objection that if you eat from Lord Chaitanya's plate, but why did you touch the offering supposed to be, eaten by Narsinghadev? Jogan Jagannath tomai aikya khao tar bhog. Jagannath and you are one. Khao tar bhog. You eat from his plate. Narsingera bhoga kene kara upayog. Why did you eat from Narsinghdev's plate? Narsingera hoila jani aji upavas. Thakura upavasi rahe jiye kaiche das. So Narsinghadev decided, Narsinghanand Brahmachari decided that Narsinghadev today will have to do upavas, will have to fast. When Narsinghanand Brahmachari understood, oh, Lord Chaitanya Lord Narsinghadev would have to fast, then I will also not eat. Upavasi rahe. He performed upavas. Jiye kaiche das. How can a servant ever live when the master has remained hungry? Bhojana dekhi jadyapi tar hridaye ullas. Narsingha lakshya kari bhai. Bahye kichu kare dukha bas. Although Narsinghanand Brahmachari felt jubilation within his heart to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating everything, for the sake of Lord Narsinghadev, he externally expressed disappointment. He said, oh, I think Narsinghadev is hungry today. He could not eat anything today. Therefore, he is fasting. If the master will fast, how can the servant remain alive? Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Chaitanya Gosai Jagannath Narsingha Saha Kichu Bheda Nahi. So he's saying that Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Chaitanya Gosai. Krishna Chaitanya is Swayam Bhagavan, and he is non-different from Jagannath or Narsinghadev. Iha Janivare Pradyumnera Guda Haitaman Taha dekha ila Prabhu Koriya Bhojan. Pradyumna Brahmachari was deeply eager to understand this fact. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed it to him by a practical demonstration, right? So Lord Chaitanya displayed to him how he is non-different from Jagannath and how he is non-different from Narsinghadev. Okay, so if you think we have gone beyond the time, it's already 9 past 8. If anybody has any questions or comments, they could ask, or they have to offer any corrections, I would be most happy. I could have gone on and on, but I think we should stop now. Okay, thank you very much. Narsinga, Shri Narsinghadev Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur
Prabhuji,
Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Thank you.
Prabhuji, I think there's a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the very sweet lecture. Thank you so much for your association also. Prabhuji, actually my question is, see, Prahlad Maharaj is such a great elevated personality and he's one of the Mahajanas. So he has the mood of always surrenderance to Krishna and he always thinks that Krishna is his maintainer and the protector, right? So even in so much difficulties also, he just, he was fearless and he surrendered to Lord and he was always thinking that Krishna is his protector. But in suppose a normal person like me, like when things are going good on my end, it is easy for me to say, Krishna, you are my protector, you are my maintainer, and all these things. But when some things going against my expectations, that days I cannot tell Krishna wholeheartedly that Krishna is, you are my maintainer and you are my protector. So how to cultivate that kind of Prabhuji, that kind of attitude, or that kind of feeling for Krishna, even in the midst of threefold miseries of life.
Okay, so just as every journey begins with a step, right? So we need to cultivate this mood, by depending on the Lord, little by little, for small things, like like children are taught, no, we will eat only after the bhoga has been offered. So that's a dependence on the Lord, that we will offer the bhoga and then we will accept prasadam, right? And Prahlad Maharaj's exalted status was that he never even begged for big protection to the Lord. He never asked for it. Now what should we do? Should we pray to the Lord for protection? Yes. Bhagavatam is saying, akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. You may have no material desires, you may be full of desires, you may be moksha kam, sarva kam, akam, whatever you may be. Bhagavatam is saying, go to the Lord, right? Go and pray to the Lord. There is no problem in that. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. Just as small children, they are ever dependent on parents, right? But when the children themselves come to the parents and beg, I need this, the parents like it. Yeah. The parent appreciate, wow, okay, our child has come to us, we will provide. Similarly, Lord Narsinghadev, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Jagannath, Krishna, Radha and Krishna, they appreciate our begging to them, or our praying to them, right? Just as children may sometimes may not even know, babies, they don't even know, they cannot even speak 2 words properly, coherently, but they may say and the mother will hear I. Papa, people, and the father says, oh, Papa, he's saying Papa. Many times, I have, grastas, they're small children, very small kids, and they will say, Papa, Prabhuji, he's saying Prabhupada, right? So similarly, when we may be toddlers, we may be, novice, we may not be exalted, but with whatever we have, we can offer it to Lord Narsinghadev, we can call out to the Lord and depend always on the Lord, right? So that exalted state also will be reached by Lord's mercy only. Right? The more we connect to the Lord, the more we depend on the Lord, right? And the more we approach the Lord and beg for shelter, the Lord is very eager to give shelter.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Are there other questions for Prabhuji?
Any corrections? Actually, I'm very grateful to Jai Sachidanand Prabhu. Last 2 years, I was coming to Portland, and and Jai Sachidanand Prabhu hosted me at the temple, and he offered me the service to give the Sunday feast lecture, right? And I could also honor prasadam sitting next to him, although I was not qualified. He allowed me to sit next to him and honor prasadam. I still remember, that Sunday feast. And there was something in the glass that we ate. He specifically asked me to, have that, I think some sort of a liquid was there.
Was it okay?
Oh, it was very nice. It was very nice. I remember. So I could not serve all of you personally this time. Maybe I need to go deeper in my Krishna consciousness, and become qualified to be able to serve all of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Prabhuji, just a comment. I really benefited from hearing your lecture. The connection between last lecture of how Lord Nrsingadev removes distress, and then this verse about how Prahlad Maharaj explained to Hiranyakashipu that the source of all power is the same, and essentially indicating that our distress is due to our uncontrolled mind, and how it links into the tradition of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas as exemplified by Advaita Acharya and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then I was contemplating this and I was thinking how beautifully it comes into Lord Chaitanya's prayers, na dhanam, na janam, na sundaram, how our distresses are due to our uncontrolled mind. And Lord Nrsingadev is very expert in sending us some medicine, which, we may not like, but the goal is always compassionate. So thank you for connecting the dots and explaining to us how Nrsingadev worship is bona fide in our sampradaya, as exemplified by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and his dear associates. Wonderful lecture, very inspiring and complete, and nice connection for us, I think. So, what's the next seminar going to be on, Prabhuji?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Sorry.
So, what's the next seminar going to be on, Prabhuji?
Oh, see, everyone is laughing. You see, you look at whoever has switched on their videos, they're laughing at your question. How can Jai Sachidanand Prabhu commit such a mistake? How can he ever ask for something like that? Enough of trouble now.
They're ecstatically waiting for your answer, I think, right? We understand you're very busy. Krishna Keshav Prabhu explained how you've been diligently serving devotees throughout this entire pandemic. But it's